Hey guys, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, as you've probably guessed, we're going to be talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu again. Oh yes, if you go through my recent uploads, you'll notice quite a few Mando videos. And it's because we've had quite a few breadcrumbs, little pieces of information here and there, and today there is more, so I hope you're hungry for it. But I first want to address something I came across a couple of days ago, and I've noticed a lot of fans talking about how Star Wars feels incredibly dead at the moment. We have the LEGO special coming in a few days, the sequel to Rebuild the Galaxy, but in terms of big Star Wars projects, live action shows and films, we have to wait until 2026. It is a pretty tough time to grow your channel, to make daily videos, and to make videos which people care about, people want to see. But in light of all of this, I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys. I thank you for staying tuned and for being part of this amazing community. I do firmly believe, maybe naively and maybe you'll say I'm wrong about this, that Star Wars is going to have a big resurgence in 2026. Not necessarily with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, but definitely with Ahsoka Season 2. I've seen a lot of fan excitement. Hayden Christensen coming back, Dave Filoni's story continuing, you know, the new Balin, and then there's the Darth Maul show, Maul Shadow Lord, and then of course the build up to the next Star Wars celebration a year after that. So chin up, brighter days to come, and I will always be here to keep you guys updated. Star Wars means the world to me, and sharing my passion with you guys has been a dream come true, so thank you. And if you do want to support what I do, the link to my Patreon is in the description. But no more jibber jabber, my friends. Shall we dive into some juicy Star Wars news? Let's dive straight in. So a couple of days ago, on Friday, we had a new description for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And to me, the wording sounded like an opening crawl. It could be the one they end up using. It spoke about the death of Darth Vader, and sounded a bit like a reboot. It was more like a description for Season 1, but as I pointed out, it wasn't just copied and pasted. Disney wrote that description for the movie. And now, my friends, there is another plot synopsis. This one coming from the Disney Marketing Expo in Shanghai, and it's a bit different. This one gives us a very strange description of Grogu. Even with the proper translation, it doesn't really make sense. Not in terms of syntax or grammar, but because I can't see why they describe Grogu like this. Here's what it says. As the Force's heir in the galaxy, and the Mandalorian's most adorable partner, Grogu has taken the world by storm with his mischievous and endearing charm since his debut. Grogu-themed merchandise spanning all channels, categories, and age groups will soon be available. The Grogu storm is about to hit. I thought it already did, but now they're telling us there's going to be even more Grogu merch. So if you thought there was already a lot of it, and Grogu is a cash cow for Disney, they're about to milk him further. And because this isn't the TV show, this is a fully fledged movie with a bigger marketing budget, with a wider audience in mind, leading up to the movie's drop in May 2026, we're gonna see a Grogu bonanza. You know how Stitch from Lilo and Stitch was like everywhere this year? That's gonna be Grogu but times 10. So if you visit any of the Disney parks, you're going to be seeing green. But anyway, let's return to this description. Why is Grogu bafflingly described as the Force's heir in the galaxy? Between the time period of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, to me there's a pretty obvious heir of the Force, Luke. And if you don't want to choose him, then how about another Jedi, like Ezra or Ahsoka? But Grogu doesn't make sense, because yes, he has the Force, he still uses it, he was trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, Ahsoka noticed he's special, he survived Order 66, but he's not a Jedi. He abandoned the ways of the Jedi in the Book of Boba Fett. He chose not to train with Luke. So I really don't know why he's being labelled as the Force's heir in the galaxy. It makes him sound very important, and I think there are two ways to interpret this. Either they're describing Grogu as emblematic of the next generation of Force users, even if he himself is not a Jedi. Or, what if they're referring to Grogu's origins? There is a long-running theory that Grogu, just like Anakin, was created by the will of the Force. Maybe all of the Yoda species emerge like this. But for a small blurb at a marketing expo, I really doubt it's that deep. But it's not for nothing, because I think what they are referring to is the importance Grogu has in the movie. I mean, he's literally in the title, The Mandalorian and Grogu. And I know Star Wars fans have complained this is a very stupid name for the movie, it's marketing driven, it's tonally off, it's redundant, the flow is strange, but I think this title is intentionally trying to demonstrate an evolution of both characters, because now they're entering a very different phase of their journey compared to the first 3 seasons. Din and Grogu are now officially father and son. At the end of the 3rd season, Grogu was officially baptized, as Din Grogu, Din Djarin's Mandalorian apprentice. So the title of the movie is evocative of an official bond. The TV show was just The Mandalorian. But now Clan Mudhorn is not just a unit, they're father and son. And Din is officially Grogu's mentor and father, so it's symbolic. So I guess there is a logic to it. I do agree they should have gone for a better title, maybe Rangers of the New Republic, like the scrap TV show. That's also accurate, but whatever. We'll judge the movie based on its substance. But I do just want to say, going back to the Grogu thing, I would not be surprised if Grogu has a role way beyond the Mandoverse, long after Din is dead. I would even wager that Lucasfilm already has plans for him post-episode 9. I've been saying this for years. Eventually, Grogu and Rey are going to be in a movie together. That's the only way I can see this heir to the Force thing working, because eventually, he's going to be like the oldest member of the Jedi Order, inadvertently. I'm telling you guys, Lucasfilm has had this plan from the start. I mean, why do you think they made Grogu a Yoda species? They're going to put him in everything. His journey as a Mandalorian is temporary. Eventually, he's going to pick up the lightsaber again. That's my prediction. And do you remember the Tarvis, the theory? The idea that Grogu's going to combine two traditions, being both the Mandalore and a Jedi. Well, I think it's going to go slightly differently, because while Tarvis was both a Force user and a Mandalorian, he was still a true Jedi. Grogu isn't. So while I don't deny Grogu might follow two traditions, I don't think the Force component is going to be one that is truly Jedi. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be dark side, but it might be something very different, something unique. And with no Jedi Master, I wonder how his Force abilities are going to evolve. Din Djarin might realize he can't do this mentorship thing alone. Maybe he'll call upon Ezra or someone else. I guarantee you Disney is chomping at the bit for the opportunity to sell Grogu merch where he's holding a lightsaber and wearing a Mandalorian helmet. I mean, anytime Grogu does something different or something new, they have to make toys of it. Think of the no squeezy moment where he hugged the Anzellan. I called it, by the way, when that episode came out. I said wait for that to become a Funko. And guess what happened? Same with Grogu wearing that giant button that the armor made for him. So yes, I think they're going to do this. I am curious to see what's going to happen when Grogu stops being cute, so to speak, when he starts growing up. His species ages at a slow pace, so they have time to think about how they're going to do that, but I think he's going to talk very soon. You know what they're going to do? When he's grown up, they're just going to make him look like an adorable version of Yoda. To be fair, Yoda was already cute, but they're going to up the cuteness, even as Grogu ages. But anyway, moving on. In other Mando news, the movie has a third variation for its logo. So we had the first one a few months ago that looks like this, then the green one for the logo reveal at Celebration, and now a yellow one where the word "and" is positioned differently. Let me know which one you prefer. And if you're wondering why there are so many, each one serves a different purpose. For marketing, for licensing, for merch, or maybe they just can't make their minds up. It's Lucasfilm. I don't get surprised by changes anymore. But what do you guys think? Share your thoughts on everything we spoke about today in the comments down below.